I'm almost to the school, so I've
Oh,
just
I'm sorry.
got.
We just started recording. That's what it said.
Oh, okay,
I'm sorry.
got it. Said, um, I'm right over here by the school. I'm youth pastor up here at Eagles Landing, but I've actually transitioned over to the school side. So I'm working with all the artsies, the music, the drama,
Oh,
band, all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of the you know how football players always have chaplains. I told them I wanted
they
to be a
need them.
chaplain. I want to be a chaplain to the arts
Oh,
because
wow, that's a good idea.
yeah, yeah. So
You
I'm really loving it.
might know a thing or two about music.
You know,
I don't know.
I
Maybe
try to tell them, guys, I'm a pretty big deal. But I've
yeah.
learned anytime you have to tell anybody that, you're probably not.
Oh, stop it. I was wondering, 20 years, you're probably like we all do. Like you can tell me, right? Like with the kids and school and everything and work. Man, that went quick.
Dude,
Man.
really did. When they started telling us, hey, it's your 20-year anniversary, what do you want to do? I'm like, 20 years? It really, really went by fast. Like I was amazed we even got to do this, first of all. And still waiting on people to just walk in and go, you know what? I don't think y'all are cool enough to be a band. Y'all don't need to do this.
Oh, I think you could safely say that you are.
Well,
By
the
the
first
way,
time we went to Nashville, we met Mark Miller, Sawyer Brown, met
right.
Stephen Curtis Chapman, and then we met the heads of the label, like for the first time. And I remember thinking they're going to take one look at me and say, you know, you ought to write.
Well, you
That was
took
a
them up on
legitimate concern. Because
part
Mark
of
Miller
that.
said, you guys look like seven people just walked up out of church and got on the stage and started playing. I said, I know.
How'd you know? That is pretty amazing and a big, I guess, congratulations or praise God or whatever. I mean, you're pretty much together, right? After 20 years.
Yeah, man.
Couple
Yeah.
changes. Pretty amazing.
It's been great. And those who have stepped in have been former students, come up out of our student ministry, interns in the student ministry. I mean, because we're built out of the local church. That's what we're about. So, we didn't go and pick up hired guns anywhere. We've been working on replacing ourselves for years at Eagles Landing. So we've had, even on our crew, we've had crew members come up out of working in the youth group with the lights and working with the sound in the youth group room, and now they're getting to work on the road. I just think that's what we all need to be doing. I think your talent belongs in the church first, and it's been working.
Well, you guys were in Florida, right? You were, because I tell everybody, I said you were basically a youth group band in Florida. How did you get to Georgia?
We Pastor Tim up here at Eagles Landing had called me about coming out to be a youth pastor, and I'd been sort of putting that off and thinking it wasn't really time for me to leave Daytona yet. Meanwhile, in Daytona, Casting Crowns was the youth group band, and families had come together and helped us make our own CD. There's 2 CDs of Crowns. I'm actually holding one right here. This was the very first Casting Crowns CD.
Wow.
It was just our youth group band. Hector did the artwork on it, and it was you open it up and it talks about, here's what we do on Wednesday, here's what we do on Sunday, come to our church, Wow. And it was a college kid that got it to Mark Miller, met him at a basketball camp, said, you need to hear my youth pastor. And Mark Miller was vacationing with Stephen Curtis Chapman. So I mean, that's how that all, it wasn't something we were really looking for. It was just something God brought to us, and we've been chasing it ever since.
Do you realize everybody else in music has to know that you guys are primarily vested in the youth? Your youth ministry, where the music is just secondary. Every hour on the radio, that's okay.
That's right. That's right. That has been the side job or the other thing. But we decided in the beginning that if we could stay in the local church, we would do it, and that was our condition. So, and I remember Mark saying, "Well, I guess if that's what you want to do, you can, but your audience is going to get bigger, and I think you might end up one day, leaving." and doing this full time. And I just said, I don't think you'd have our songs if we weren't with the same people every week, because we write our songs for our people.
Right.
And so
God said, hold my sweet tea.
yeah,
Watch me work, show you how I'm gonna
exactly.
do it. That's something.
Exactly.
Well, your songs are so powerful. I mean, but people in music, they really do look at that. I mean, because I just heard that fresh, like from Chad. He's like, you really respect Casting Crowns. I mean, the music, obviously, because people love you. I mean, you don't get I'm not making that up every hour on the radio, But the fact that you have that ministry and you've had it and you've been dedicated to do that speaks volumes right there.
I appreciate that.
No, it does. I mean, now, how have you guys changed? How have you, well, everybody asks about, because sometimes you talk about when you had cancer and what you went through with that. And you were very open about that, which was very healing for the church, I think, because I think we have a tendency to clam up something. We get a diagnosis of clam up, and you were dealing with that.
Yeah. I think the two big messages that God let me speak into the church during that was, number one, when someone that you love is hurting with health like that, a lot of times you feel like you've got to swoop in with the perfect Bible verse or the perfect nugget little tweetable thing that's going to just fix it. And because we don't know what to say, sometimes we run from people that are hurting because we don't know what to do. And so I leaned into that with people and just saying, look, you don't have to fix people. You just got to love them. Just be there. You don't have to say just the right thing, but the second half that God really taught me is that I'm a giver, but I'm not a very good receiver. Like, I'm all about comforting you during your hard time, because I've been doing it my whole life. I've been walking with people through that stuff forever. But now when it's me, I was like, okay, I don't want all this. And I didn't know that was pride at first, but God and my wife started showing me that. And so I didn't want people loving on me. It's like, I just want to stay back. And so when you are hurting and you are in a place where you need the church, you got to let them love you. And you got to know that they're going to say awkward things. They're not going to know what to say. They're going to say, God's got this. They're going to say all those little weird things that they say. But you got to hear the heart behind that. And you got to hear people, they just love you. You got to hear love when the church gets around you. And I needed it so bad. So, and that's the first time the Christian radio community, I really felt that love of just everybody praying. It was like, pray for Mark. This hashtag shows up. It was on billboards. And it was so special to me, because I've focused all my time pouring into them, that it came back some. So that was good.
From what I understand, you guys are really a pretty good bunch of people that in the Christian, the CCM group of performers and stuff are really pretty bona fide, straight up, like real people. And what you see is what you get, not superstars kind of thing. I remember.
I think being in the same church every week helps that. I mean, you get off the bus, you walk in, and a middle schooler walks up to you and goes, oh, hey. And you're like, aha, that's right. I am not a big deal. So being in the same church every week has kept everybody's head on their shoulders. And there's a sense of what the real world is. And famous isn't real. I mean, famous means is that you know somebody really well, but you've never met them, because everybody will tell you as soon as they meet them, what do they say? They're just like a normal person. Exactly. So, I mean, you ever been in Target and some girl walks by and you're like, hey, that's the girl that works at Chili's. It's like a weird kind of thing that happens in our head when you see somebody. So famous isn't real. And it's just a little illusion. And if anybody walks around acting famous, that's somebody you need to watch out for, because they believe in their own stuff.
Oh boy. Now, somebody said years ago, I said, what's the difference between starting out and then getting popular, starting to play in arenas, that type of thing, on the radio? He said, well, the scary thing is people start doing things for you. True. I thought, that is very interesting, isn't it? Is that something you don't let anybody do stuff for you? You have to.
Oh, you can make me a sandwich if you want to. I'll eat it. But but my wife, Melanie, has been our road manager from the start.
Right. That's right.
So she kind of runs crowns. And I think for me, it's just been learning to stay in my lane. This is what I'm good at. This is what my gifts are. I need other people who have gifts that I don't have to come in and do their part. And it works out good. I mean, I don't have any bowls of green M&Ms anywhere that I'm demanding or anything.
Well, there's got to be something. I mean, you guys you've come a long way, and you do have. I mean, Mark, you're pretty
okay. You know what?
In some circles, you are, but
if you're gonna bring ketchup, it should be Heinz. Okay, I'll just say it. If I've got one, that'll be it. Just don't bring that Del Monte fancy ketchup stuff. Just don't do that. Just don't do that.
Okay.
That's my rock star moment right there.
You ever gotten ready to go? I probably don't, because your wife probably tells you how to do that. Where you're getting ready to go, like I do it in the morning. I get dressed, and then I make the mistake of having pancake syrup or something, and then and it dribbles down on your shirt. That happened the other day, and you're like, well, I guess everybody's going to see it now because too late to change.
Too late. And I have a white shirt on now, so we know that's going to happen.
That.
It doesn't happen when you're wearing a black shirt.
So what does your wife do? You say she handles the group now. So what exactly does she do?
She's the road manager for the group.
Okay.
So she runs the tours. She's been on every tour. My kids have been on the road with us every tour on the bus. We've done it as a family, and that's why I'm still doing it. I wouldn't have been able to stay away from my
I noticed that backstage. It's like, who are all these people? It's like
kids are everywhere.
It's their family.
So if mama's on the road, the babies are on the road. So Megan's got 3, and the DeVivos, they have 2. So that's 5, and then I have 4. So you got 9 kids on a good day, and now my grandson's on the road with us. So wow. It's a very loud catering room. Very loud catering.
So that's obviously a big change, and you've adapted to that. So that's pretty good.
It has been.
That's pretty amazing. So like right now is like a vacation cruise, sitting by yourself, talking to me, just in the quiet.
This is the quiet place.
I would think that Mark Hall would be a little busy. You got things. How structured is your day?
Pretty structured. I've got classes that I sit in on and help with. I've got clinics and doctors I'm going to right now for voice and back. I just had my spine surgery on my neck. They fused 3 of my discs together about 14 weeks ago. So you should have heard the doctor tell me about this. Okay, Mark, what we're going to do is we're going to take your vocal cords and we're going to slide it over here. We're going to go in through the front and fuse this. I didn't hear anything he said about my spine after I heard this is over here. And he's telling me what he's going to do. It's all going to be great. And I said, okay, so can we get back to this part over here? Because I'm going to need this. I'm going to need this right back over here in this region. And so it was a little tough getting back singing, but we've done about 6 concerts since the surgery, and it's working itself out.
Don't tell people it's tough getting back singing. Everybody thinks, oh, you'll be the same forever.
Yeah.
So you must have
some of these rock stars that are doing the shows these days. You're like, man, how do they still sing that well?
I don't know.
It's amazing.
You must have like a plan. Since you've already had some people come into the group that kind of came up. So I have a feeling. I just thought of this, that Casting Crowns could be beyond you. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not. I'm not trying to, say anything that's not true, but
yeah, that would be fine with me. I mean, to me, just being a youth pastor so long, that's your job. Your job is to replace yourself. You work yourself out of a job. You don't want to leave a ministry not able to exist without you. So, as far as the singer of a group goes, we've seen some groups do that pretty well, change singers and keep going. But my daughter Reagan is a worship leader. My daughter Zoe is a worship leader. I don't know that they would choose the road life after being on it since they were born. But
Wow.
but it's there if they want it.
Wow. That
In
is
other
a
words,
fun.
I'm not here to create a legacy that they have to come get. That's improper pressure to put on your kids.
Wow.
But their love for music and the church is there, and they're using it. So to me, that is passing the torch.
So we're playing this 20th anniversary concert up as a big deal.
Yeah.
So you got to come through for it. So since we're like, casting crowns at the Palace Theater, which is a great venue in Albany. That I really
Yeah,
like
it
it.
is.
I really like they did that. That's pretty cool. So what's
Gorgeous.
going to happen?
We are actually bringing a string section with us on that tour. So you're going to have the crowns moments, but they're going to have an orchestra behind us, playing with us. Strings have always been a big part of crowns.
Right.
So
I was going to say
melody playing strings. So it's going to really, I don't know, it's going to give some weight to it, I believe. And I think at the same time, we still have our fun and do all the fun songs. But what we've worked our set list through is the very first record, and then going through every record and playing songs all the way through the 20 years. So
you time this out.
Yeah. Well, when you got an ADD singer, I'm always assuming everybody's bored. So I always want to quit right before people want you to. But we'll do like two or three songs from each record.
No, nobody's Mark. Come on, nobody's bored. No, not in your show. No, not at all. They want more. They would clap till midnight. You'd be in there like, what is it, morning? Playing.
Well,
what else?
The one thing I've noticed about our shows is people stay. So that's good. I don't ever want to go so long. People are having to kind of trickle out. So you got to respect people's. They got kids, they got sitters, they got work. So
and they forgot all about that.
Do I?
They forgot all about that. Wait a minute. I'm watching the show. Well, that's very exciting. That's really that's pretty cool. I'm glad you're doing that. I really am. So
thanks, man.
That's kind of neat. I was thinking in kind of in jest, but I'm sure that some fancy Nashville radio announcers probably already come out. I can't believe you guys don't have your line of vitamins or something, or you were like energy drink or something. With your name.
I have been known to drink a 5-hour energy, and my wife does not like them.
Ooh.
But I always say, look, Jesus helps me love people. 5-hour helps me like them. So that just gives me a little boost. I've never been a coffee guy. Never drank coffee in my life.
No kidding.
No. So I'll drink those every once in a while. Like we'll be in the middle of doing something, and I'll look over to Reagan. And I say, can you go over to my backpack and get me a little bottle of Interested? Because I am not interested in this right now. I need a little boost right now.
Man. All right. So can you reveal? I know I've heard some stories about like some of the kids. Oh man, some of you guys in your group, they just love to tell funny stories about traveling and stuff. What's something that's because they're all going to be, you're going to remember them as funny, even if they weren't funny at the time. What's something, or you're by yourself?
Well, probably about 3 years ago. When you get old, the years start running. That was 15 years ago, actually.
And the whole pandemic thing didn't help anything either.
Yeah, that did not help. It's like the year that never happened.
Yeah.
I walked right off the stage during a concert, fell off the stage, and landed.
Wow.
Like I stepped right off, fell straight down, and landed on my feet like a cat, but caught my arm on the stage. That's how tall the stage was. It's like I'm 6'2", and that's how far the stage was. And I just finished singing the song "One Step Away."
Oh no!
So one step away, boom, fall off right off the stage. And in my head, I'm like, okay, the crowd doesn't need to get freaked out. So I just start making jokes. Hey, I'm doing this. And I start making jokes about how I'm getting to that age where it's more of an event when you fall than like, he didn't fall. He had a fall. You know what I'm saying? So I start making jokes. I'm getting back up the stage, and I get up there. We start doing east to west, and my adrenaline starts settling, and I start realizing Oh, okay, that
Well,
hurts. Okay, this hurts. Okay, this hurts. And so I get off to intermission and I pull up my shirt and it's just blue. Like my ribs, I hit my ribs on the way down.
wow.
So I called Mark Miller. No, I texted him. And Mark Miller sings for Sawyer Brown.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
This old school,
I'm
rough and tough.
big
And I
on him.
texted him the picture, held my shirt up, showed him the purple, said, fell off the stage tonight. He answered, did you finish the show? I said, you better believe it. He goes, that's my boy. That's it. That was it.
Good.
That was it.
Well, he heard it. You probably know this because I know way back, he hurt his knee because he used to jump around, jumped off of something, and he said, "Yeah, I got to be careful with my knee on this show." I was like sprayed to, jumping off of something. There comes a point.
Yeah, I don't jump off of stuff.
No, probably not a good idea. Your manager might take issue with that.
Yeah, the band would too. They're always like, take care of Papa Crown. Make sure old Papa Crown doesn't wander off the stage again.
Wow, man. Well, so have safe travels.
Thank you, my friend.
Always wondered, is there anything like you got so many people and stuff going on? I would imagine we doesn't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out, to pray for you guys and safe travels, and keep everybody together and things, keep peace and stuff. But is there anything like specific, traveling?
We'll just be praying for our drummer, Jack. Jack grew up in my youth group from 6th grade. And so it's really cool having him there. His wife, Lindley, is having a baby. She just had a baby yesterday. So they're going to be home, and he may be a show or two late joining us when that tour actually starts. But so pray that, I think it's Ellie is her name, or Emma. Don't tell him if I got it wrong. And so pray for that baby to be strong, and so that's going great.
Yeah,
and then just pray for voice and health and everything else.
Yeah, sounds like your voice. Boy, I know, when that starts to get a little shaky, man, that'll increase your prayer life. That's the desert road right there.
Yeah,
that'll get you listening really quick.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a thing called dysphonia that I'm working through, and singing is easier than talking, but keeps you praying.
Yeah, that's right. And that's a lot easier to sing about, isn't it, than walking through?
Yeah, it is.
Probably,
yeah, it is.
But when you come out of the other side and you walk through, not that you ever, do, but you go through situations, you're thinking, thank you. Oh, man, can I do that?
Right.
Can I
did that.
Well, so big deal coming up. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for all you do. And man, oh man, anything, let's see. What do you right now? You're probably not where you have songwriting sessions, or somebody come to you.
I write mainly in the car.
Oh.
I sing ideas when it's the only time I'm ever alone is in the car. So I usually sing little pieces into my phone, and I got like 3 songs I'm working on right now, and so I'll go back and listen to them and go, wow, that's horrible. So delete, and I'll go to the next one.
So like right now, I'm keeping Casting Crowns from coming out with the next #1 song on Christian radio. Could have been done right now. Could have walked.
We wouldn't say that. We would not say that. We would not say that.
But no, I got to interview with this guy in radio. Anyway, wow. Pretty awesome. Okay, well, we used to have Southern expression was "How's your mama?" and them, So
how's your mom and them?
Take care of everybody, your family, and all that. I know that's very important. It's very evident talking with you. That's it's pretty cool.
Well, as another Southern expression, just hang in there like a hair in a biscuit.
That's send me an invoice for that one.
Your challenge right there. Your challenge is to use that 3 times in conversation today.
People used to say, "How are you doing?" And I used to say, "Finer than a frog hair."
Yeah.
And nobody in New York can even understand. They're like, "What?"
No,
finer than a frog. But anyway, I just kind of let them go, hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit. I love that. Well, love you, Mark. I appreciate it. Thanks again.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me on.
It's pretty wild right here. Maybe we can, edit out part of the anyway, nobody wants to see me. But God bless you. Take care.
Thank
All
you,
right.
buddy.
Okay. All right.
Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Here we go.